You are live. You have to play it nga.
Yeah.
Play the intro. Ang hirap. Ang hirap,
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
Oh wow, you
What was that?
as people can tell, today on this episode of the VP News, Daddy Denmark is not with us. It's the kids who are running the show tonight. It's
And
me, Jake Fernandez,
hold
naglilingkod po, and my
Ron
partner.
Teruel. As always, hold on to your pants, ladies and gentlemen.
So, as I said, today on VP News, it's just the two kids today. No Daddy Denmark. He is busy on this week's episode. And as people have seen, when Daddy Denmark is not here, technical difficulties will be a
Difficulties
feature of the show.
abound.
So, it's not a problem. It's a feature, okay? So, hang on. Hang on and enjoy the ride. Hi, Kyo. Good evening, everyone. All the viewers there, please don't be shy. Say hello. It's just us. Wala si
Yep.
Denmark. Si Denmark yung masungit.
Yeah. The
Kami.
boss is not
Kami.
here.
The boss
So,
is not here. The boss is not here.
join
So,
us. Join us.
before we start this week's
Hmm.
news, it's always nice to talk about a bit of personal news. I thought, we always be talking about board games. So while people come in, how are you, Ron? Any
Yeah.
personal news that you want to share to our viewers? Oh, hello, Denmark. Oh, si Daddy Denmark, hello.
Oh, he's up and about. All right. So, personal news, no? This last weekend, my wife and I has finally finished our Machikoro Legacy games, and
Wow.
and well, fortunately, she won. No,
It seems like you feel bad about that.
yeah, she won fair and square. She won fair and square.
Sure, very scared. Did you like it? It's the legacy version of Machikoro. I guess you finished it. It's
It's
worth the hype.
definitely a Machikoro experience. The basic mechanics are there. I did like all of the additions, the small additions that they did for it to
Okay.
have a cohesive story. Surprisingly,
Okay.
a cohesive story from
Whoa,
beginning to
Machikoro with
end.
theme.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's interesting. So
No,
you
it's,
enjoyed
it's
it.
good. It's good. Clint,
Yeah.
finish it. Maganda. Maganda naman.
Oh, Clint. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Clint. It's the gang. Please hang out and help us share, by the way. Bago kami mag-start, we were talking about who shares. Who shares this? Nobody's gonna watch this, but here we are. We figured it out.
Yeah.
The logistics when Daddy Denmark is away, we'll
Yeah.
figure this
Sorry,
out.
guys. I just really copied and pasted the link to the
Yeah,
groups.
yeah.
There's no intro or whatever. There's no
For my
write-up.
bit of personal news, ako hindi board game related. I just wanted to say na was it last week? I got my first shot of the COVID vaccine finally.
Oh, congratulations.
So I got
Congratulations.
what
Thanks
was
for
it?
doing your part, man.
Yeah. I got a Sinovac shot. So it's not the sexiest shot that people would like post on social media, but
Yeah, I saw your video, man.
yeah, exactly. But it's one step closer to getting there, right? To getting to a better, herd immunity society.
Uh, ika nga sa, what's this movie about alien cockroaches? What's this?
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers, di
I
ba?
was right.
do
Oh
my
my
part.
god.
I do
Mm.
my part.
Okay, that's it for all the personal news. I guess people have joined in already. Let's start with the actual news for this week, board game news. I practiced that. That was perfect, right? I
Jeff
practiced.
Nana, just so you know, guys. Naunahan
Yeah.
niya ako dun sa button. Alright.
Yeah, I practice that. So what's the first headline is you're gonna show it.
Hmm.
Oh, you're gonna show it. This is we'll start with a bit of pretty somber and sad news. Just last week, an article
Sad,
on
sad.
medium.com came out that the Broken Token CEO, Broken Token is a manufacturer of board game inserts, wooden board game inserts, very popular. And one of his employees posted regarding actually sexual harassment allegations against the CEO. If you go to the
Hmm.
article on medium.com, it's very vivid and detailed. The account of the employee over
Yeah,
what she
from
says over
start
a
to
10-year
finish, right?
period. Yeah,
Yeah,
over a
yeah.
10-year period of abuse from the CEO of Broken Token. And from that, the whole industry kind of just of course supported the author of the post, and at the same time a lot of companies you know started to pull away from Broken
Mm-hmm.
Token,
From Broken
just to show
Token.
their support.
Okay.
So I think Asmodee already posted something, and also the designer of Gloomhaven, Isaac Childress, Frosthaven was going to use Broken Token. He's
Broken
also
Token for the.
says he's gonna distance himself from doing Broken Token products. So that's very sad. But I think it's also a powerful, a good way to move forward. That these things
Mm-hmm.
that they're happening, but at least we're getting more and more courageous with this for this to come out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and this shines a light, no, on the industry that the board game industry is not any different, no, from any um, corporate setup, diba? So it's a real world. Despite how we think it's different,
Yep,
how unique our hobby is, no,
correct.
it's still very susceptible to these things, no.
Agree.
So yeah, yeah. So that's my 2 cents on that issue.
100%. It's not something that's just in our industry, in our
Mm-hmm.
hobby. You're right. It's everywhere. We're not specific. It's not specific to us. So good that at least in all spaces, in all walks of life, this is coming out, right, and
Mm-hmm.
victims are finding justice, etc. So good sign, right? Good sign.
Good side, yes.
Okay,
Not good
and
news.
good news. We're gonna abuse this. Okay. Ronnie said good timing. But we're gonna abuse this. So
All
what do you
right.
have for us, Mr. Ron?
So actually, we don't have any good major news at all. So Atomic Mass Games, right? So they posted an update on Twitter. So they have announced that in 2022, they are excited to continue support for Star Wars Armada. But unfortunately, at the latter part of the post, no, um, they announced that they currently do not have any production in development, products in
Right.
development. So
Oh, that sucks, man.
that's for all the war gamers out there and who still continues to play Armada and as active today as they were at the first release of the game. This is very sad news. No, um, so this is a red flag. A lot of feedback from different posts say that this is a sign that it will be definite. It will eventually lead to a stoppage of this IP, Star Wars Armada.
That's sad.
Um,
That's sad.
just a little bit of background. Late 2020, Asmodee decided to move the Star Wars wargaming titles, specifically Legion, X-Wing, and Armada, to Atomic Mass Games. So they are in charge of the minis production and the game production in itself. No, and to add to that, if you are wondering, they also have control over the Marvel Crisis Protocol, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So they also in charge of that game. So um, Atomic Mass Games still will hold their world championship in 2022. So, but they did a hiatus for 2021, but they will be honoring all of those who qualified for world championships from 2020 to 2022, and they will all participate in the 2022 world championship. So, this is a bit of sad news for those who are still playing the game. But they will be focusing on the reprints. So if you have any favorite units that are out of stock right now, don't feel bad. They'll be available in shelves soon. All right, so that's it. Q
That's
J.
interesting. Oh, do you? I mean, I was just gonna say that
Yeah.
FFG and games ending. That's kind of like synonymous.
Yeah.
But
That
then
is
this
true.
is kind of expected. It had a good run, right? It had a good run.
Yeah, of course, of course.
It had a good run. So that's Armada News. Right, right.
Right.
Are we gonna move to the board game announcements now, good sir?
Mm-hmm. Do you want
Okay.
to discuss more about any other
No, no, no,
headline?
no, 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 no,
Kasi we had like
no.
bad music,
Oh no,
but
it's good.
they
It's
are
good.
what they are.
They are what they are. They are. So we're moving to the new board game announcements of the last 2 weeks, and this is the
Mm-hmm.
things that we have scarred and found to be interesting on the interwebs. And
Interweb.
the interwebs, and the first game that I saw that I found interesting was Last Light by Roy Canaday. If you're not
Mhm.
familiar, that name is familiar. Roy Canaday is a Dice Tower reviewer. He's part of like the Four Squares review that Tom Vassell and Z Garcia, and then it's like a rotating cast afterwards.
Mhm.
So he is coming up with his own design board game. It's called Blast Light. He tweeted the cover around August 18, it says here in the picture.
Mhm.
And it's supposed to be like a 4x simultaneous action, quick 30-minute game. And if you watch this
40
guy, yeah,
in 30 minute
yeah, I know, right?
game.
It's
Not
crazy.
really
It's crazy.
much.
It's crazy. And this guy loves to play with his kids, etc. So I'm already envisioning it's gonna be some kind of quick to play kind of game that you can
Mm.
play with children. So I thought that was interesting because it's always interesting to see a board game reviewer who's like very critical of
Other
games
game. Yeah,
try
exactly.
try their hand at designing. In fact, Tom Vassell has already designed like no personal, right? He played designed that gangster game. It was like mediocre, honestly. but then there's this game from Roy Canaday. So that's Last Light, something to watch out for till it's gonna. They don't have a release date yet. I think it's end of the year or maybe early next year.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right.
That's that's Last Light.
That's last. We're really loving that thing.
I'm trying it. I'm trying.
I love it though.
I
Wait,
love it
for
though.
our next game, we have, as you can see, Corrosion by Stefan Bauer from Capstone Games. Right?
Ooh.
So it's another. Well, if you know Capstone Games, they're really known for put a lot of things inside their box. So as you can see, these have deluxe components, right? But what is the game about first, right? So Corrosion is basically what its title says. It's the main theme, right? So you play as engineers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and each of you manage a factory, and you deploy these engineers to build up like engines. But of course, in the steam field air, your biggest enemy is time and corrosion.
Biggest
All right.
enemies in life:
Yeah, in life.
rust,
Rust. Right.
plumbers,
So
and rust.
yeah, I just want to really highlight the components of Capstone games, right?
It's amazing though. Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get your
So
money's worth when you buy Capstone game stuff.
yes, and the forest.
In the forest
So
suffers.
and the forest suffers. Yeah. All right. So as you can see, there are also metal cogs included in the game. I'm not sure if there's a deluxe and a retail version, but usually they just release a single type of game, capstone games. Um, yeah, so that's basically Corrosion. So that's
Corrosion.
by Stefan.
So
Up next, Jaku.
So Clint had an interesting comment. He says, "Will the Dice Tower be honest with their reviews?" We don't know. We don't know, right? I think when Tom's game came out, he was actually very honest with it, and he said that it wasn't an amazing game. It was just just a game, right? So yeah, it's no gloomy event. I think he knows. So I think hopefully I think they'll also be honest. I think as
Mm,
reviewers when Roy Canada's games come out. Okay, so the next game that caught our attention is Rome Total War, or is it Total War Rome? I don't know. Total War Rome, because the series is Total War, and then it's got several expansions. This is
mhm.
the Rome expansion, and this is the board game version of that. So this was announced sometime again in the last 2 weeks, and if you're not familiar, the Total War game series is a very popular PC game
It's a video game.
that is
It's a video
is a
game.
video game, and it's top-down RTS, large army management, that kind of game. Very
Mm,
complicated, and then a lot of like maneuvering on like a 3D plane board with like hundreds and thousands, dare I say, of units, right? That's how this game works. So they announced we're gonna get a board game version of this. But no details yet on the gameplay. All we know is this will go to Kickstarter crowdfunding sometime later in the year, I believe. And
mhm,
interesting
mhm.
story behind the development of this game. The game that we're eventually going to see during the crowdfunding is the third version of the game already. The very first
Wow.
version was designed was by Martin Wallace. Ooh, fancy, right?
Whoa.
But they didn't
Fancy.
like it because
That's a bit crazy.
no, I remember
Because
the big boss didn't like it. It says in the article because it was too economic. That game. So it wasn't surprising because it was
uh
Martin Wallace who
yeah,
designed that. And
exactly,
then I
exactly.
guess that's where he kind of took the design. But now he says the current version, the third version that they have, has become is like the perfect balance between an RTS and a bit of an economics game, etc. So I'm looking forward to this Total War Rome, the board game. So I don't know if you
Oh,
played the Total War series, Ron.
hmm.
Have you played it?
No, not really. Have you?
No, because my laptop can't handle it. But if my laptop can handle it, I would play it. It's a very
Yeah.
heavy game. But that's it. That is Total War Rome.
All right. So, up next is Spectre, the board game.
Spectre.
Spectre. All right. So it's a 007 themed board game, but instead of playing the agent, you will be playing as a bad guy. Lo and behold, that's why it's called Spectre, ladies and gentlemen.
Isn't that the title of one of their movies, though?
This is actually the
Spectre.
title of their most recent,
Yeah.
yeah, in the 007 series, right? So, you'll be playing as aspiring villains to become the number one special executive for counterintelligence, terrorism, revenge, and extortion.
So you're playing as the bad guys in this game.
Yes, you are playing as a bad guy and you're trying to vie to become the number one henchman or whatever.
No, you're playing as one
That
of the ano, diba? You're playing as one of the bosses.
mm, is it
Oh well,
no?
we'll see. We'll see. There's
Yeah,
like it just this just got announced, right? But
yeah,
it's
it just got
interesting. The components is super nice.
yeah, yep, hmm as expected. But it's an IP, so I don't know if you're not aware, but what is your comment on most IP based games, Jake? How do you find these
with
games?
with cautious optimism all the time.
Exactly, di ba? Exactly, exactly.
It's you hope it's going to be good. It's like you think the best parts of the movie, but then you figure out once you get the game, they probably spent all their development money on getting the license. So
And then
so
they
they
got
come up with like a very like a reskin of Uno. Parang ganun lang pala yung using James Bond
oo nga
IP.
eh. Parang
So
approach with caution eh. All the
approach with
time.
caution. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one, it looks quite involved. So that's
Mm-hmm.
usually interesting, right? They've thought about all of these components. So it might
Mm-hmm.
be quite
So,
the board game.
yeah, fun fact, this one is designed by, as you can see, Kate Dama.
Mm-hmm.
This is a group of French game designers, which
Okay.
includes Anton Bauza,
Oh.
Ludovic Maublanc, yeah,
Oh.
and Corentin Lebrat and Theo Riviere. I probably butchered their names, but yes, they are people. Yes. So, yun. These are very well-known designers. So, we kind of gets the hope up. So,
Yeah, yeah,
parang,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Interesting. Even though our French viewership I saw just went down after you
I'm
butchered
so
their names.
sorry. I butchered their names.
But that's pedigree. That's as we like to say in the show. Pedigree
Mm-hmm.
matters. It's not Austin Powers, Rooney. Come on. This is unless you do this.
Unless you do that.
So that's
Exactly.
the James Bond
So,
Spectre. What?
it'll be out 2020.
Hindi ka pa pala tapos. It will be out in
Sige.
2020, sabi mo.
Kasi it seems far, but 2022 is just right around the corner, guys.
Interesting.
Burn
Okay.
na. Okay.
And
What's
then the
next?
next game that we wanted to show was this game called Rocketeer.
Hmm.
Rocketeer is an obscure 90s IP that if you're a 90s kid, you would know.
Another
But
IP
again,
game.
it keeps on showing up as a theme in this VP news. So we're actually hiring for younger anchors, guys, so we can have different different games to highlight. Maybe because nobody's gonna highlight Fortnite in this show.
Nobody's
Nobody
gonna
plays
hire
Fortnite.
for
But this
Anchor.
game, Rocketeer, it's gonna come from Prospero Hall. Prospero Hall is a very I found this out recently. Prospero Hall is not a person. Do you know that?
No.
Okay, so Prospero Hall is a game
Prospero Hall could
design.
have been a name.
Yeah, it's a name, but it's not the name of the designer. It's the name of a game design team.
Yeah, exactly. So same as K-Dama, exactly.
Oh yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
So it's not. So I guess anonymous. You don't know who's under Prosper Hall at a certain time and who designed this game. But Rocketeer is a two-player game coming from their design stable, and it's got worker placement, multi-use cards, and the theme is you're trying to be the one to steal the schematics of the Rocketeer jumpsuit. So if you've watched the Rocketeer,
Mm.
I haven't watched it honestly in like 2 decades probably, but it's like a semi superhero type story wherein there's like a vigilante type guy who becomes like the secret superhero called the Rocketeer who saves the day, something like that,
Mm.
right? So that's the theme
Yeah,
behind this board game,
it's,
and they're
yeah,
reviving
it's
that.
like we
That
never
yeah,
heard of Iron Man before.
it's like ang hirap ng family computer game niyan. I've never played it, Kyo, to be honest. To
Oh
be
no,
honest.
Keo.
Haven't seen this film pero trip na trip yung costume ko nito parang si Star. Correct. So you see
Exactly.
so if we haven't heard of Iron Man and then there's also Star Lord elements here. In fact, it's very Star Lord, right? Star Lord does this
Exactly.
jetpack thing when he avoids stuff. Lahat ng family computer games ang hirap. One of these days on VP, we just might
Mhm.
do a live play, laro tayo ng some kind of family computer game. Let's see kung sino yung
Yeah,
pinakamagaling. and do a speed
Battle City
run.
tayo, guys. Battle City tayo.
Battle City. I
Single
saw
player,
off
Jake.
topic, may nakita ko speed run ng Lion King sa SNES. That was
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yup,
so alam mo
PS1.
'yon? Oh, SNES yata yung
Yes,
family
yes, yes.
computer. Sobrang hirap ng game na yun. Never ka nakalampas doon sa nagbabato ng giraffe yung ulo. Giraffe. Anyway, we're going off topic again. So
Yes, we
we'll move
are.
to the next news item now, and I'm gonna click my favorite transition now.
All right. So, what's up? What's up next? All right. So we have, interestingly, a
Interestingly,
game. All right.
do tell,
So,
Mr. Ron.
all right. I usually do posts in our in groups, right? So in Philippine board game enthusiasts as well as Philippine game traders about new games appearing in our digital
Realm.
gateway realm, right? So, New Frontiers is out and available to play in beta in Board Game Arena. So, do
Or
try it out, guys.
BGA, as the cool kids call it.
BGA, as the cool kids call it. So, Ronnie, I'm sorry. Baka hindi na naman matutulog si Morgan. Ang dami niyang
Sorry,
nilalaro.
Ronnie. Sorry, Ronnie.
Ang dami niyang nilalaro. But yes, so this is available to play online. If you have friends, go invite them and try this new game. So New Frontiers is along the line of so this was designed by Tom
Race.
Lehman.
Yeah.
If you're wondering, so it's in the same universe as yung Race of the Galaxy, Roll for the Galaxy, and it has that pretty bare bone mechanics of choosing an
Rule
action.
selection, right? Action
Yep,
selection. Rule selection.
action selection from a limited set, and also can benefit from that action. Only the active player benefits more. Usually, that's how it happens. So it follows that same line. So if you've played Race for the Galaxy, it's definitely going to feel familiar in a way. This is just Race for the Galaxy board game. Meron lang cardboard, guys.
It's funny because the history of Race for the Galaxy was. I'm trying to remember which came first. Was it Puerto Rico or Race for the Galaxy? Because that's supposed, and then San Juan, and then there's San Juan.
Yes, yes.
Which one came first?
Oh no,
Was
we
it?
gotta Google that.
Does anybody in the chat know? Because I know it kind of like followed each other. It's like I think San Juan came first, and then Race for the Galaxy came as like a sci-fi version of San Juan, and then Puerto Rico, or it must be the other way around. Puerto Rico came out. It was they made a simplified version, so that's why it's like very the mechanisms are similar, right? There's a bit of action selection. So it's
Action
like we've come full
selection,
circle.
roll.
We've come back to board game through New
Selection.
Frontiers.
Yes, exactly. All right,
Okay,
and
so that is New Frontiers. And then my last news bit is something that I'm very, 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 very excited about.
guys.
You're about to see excited Jake again. No, so if you want a more in-depth discussion of this, Javi of VariablePlay will also be talking about this on his Sunday night show on Magic the Gathering. He'll be talking through all the announcements. But as a new show, we felt compelled that we needed to include this as one of the items that we will talk about. So last night was the big yearly announcement show from Wizards of the Coast, wherein they talk about the next year of Magic the Gathering, the whole of 2022. So every quarter, there's a new expansion that comes out for Magic the Gathering. So they did that whole shtick and announced everything. So from Q1 to Q4, as you see on the screen, in Q1, we're going to get Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Q2, the Streets of New Capena. Capena, ewan ko. Q3, Dominaria United, and Q4, the Brothers War. So that's amazing. These are the new sets coming out for Magic the Gathering next year. And then quickly, I'll just go through the each of the sets. So Kamigawa Neon Dynasty is like the original Kamigawa came out like 5 years, sorry, 10 more than 10 years ago already probably. And it's Japanese, you're right, but it was like Shinto-based Japan when they released it. So now they're coming back to this storyline, but now 2000 years later, and it's everything is now like steampunk, sorry, neon cyberpunk Japan.
Cyberpunk.
Shinjuku type Japan. So that's amazing. So that's what's happening in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Q2, they're going to Streets of New Capena, which is like a gangster-based
It's like
setting.
New York. Yeah, it's like New York based.
Yeah. So the story is there are 5 gangster demon families who are ruling the streets of New Capena. And then, cool, right?
These, right?
It's amazing. So, they were all making fun of how is the demon wearing pinstripe pants? The demon's wearing pinstripe pants. It's like some Magic players were like saying, "I don't even own my own pair of pinstripe pants."
But the demon beat you to it.
The demon beat you to it. He is wearing pinstripe pants. So Streets of New Capena.
He's more
well dressed. A well-mannered demon. If you've ever seen one. When he drinks, pero gangster's paradise, and he drinks from a tiny bourbon cup. That's what he is. But he's a demon. He's bad, but he's well-mannered. And then third quarter, we're going to Dominaria United, which is the setting of original Magic. If you started playing Magic from the very beginning, that's where Urza Mishra is. This is just really like them going back and seeing, it's like an update. Ano naman nangyayari sa Dominaria ngayon? Parang sa pupunta sila doon just to get an update of what's happening in Dominaria. And then quarter 4, we're gonna get the Brothers War. And the Brothers War
Let me guess.
What?
There's like 2 sides.
Malay mo, tatlo silang brothers. Brothers War. Oh, paano na lang, di ba? Grabe, daming energy bigla ng Magic na. So this is the story again set in Dominaria. This is the original, what's the game? The Infinity War storyline of Magic the Gathering. So in the very beginning, there were these 2 brothers, Urza and Mishra, who are like great artificers. So meaning, that's when I learned the word artificer, by the way. Meron palang word na gano'n. So gumagawa siya ng artifacts, basically. Magaling silang gumawa ng mga robots sa mga mechs, basically. Tapos they got into a fight, just like all brothers do. And then their fight escalated to a planar wide war. So that's what happened. And that's why it's called the Brothers War. 2 sides. 2 sides to every story. So we've never seen the Brothers War in any of the Magic sets. And we're gonna see it finally as like, this is like a flashback set. They're gonna go back in history. Ano ba nangyari nung Brothers War? Ayan. Alalaman na natin in 4Q. So that's like some of the announcements. People are excited. See, ganda ng art. Damn, that pic is going to be amazing. Si ano ba yan? Si Pinstripe Pants Demon. Yes, I know. And Mishra, yeah, man. I mean, we're going back again. So it's exciting to be a Magic fan. And if you want to know more about these sets, Javi will be talking about this on Sunday.
Yep, probably.
And I'll be convincing Ron to join me on pre-releases.
Kasi naudlot yung pre-release.
Naudlot yung mga pre-release natin. But excited for this one. So that's it. That's Magic. I don't know if you like, what's your favorite there, Ron? What did you like the most?
Siyempre, yung Pinstripe Pants. Got me.
We're gonna cosplay as Pinstripe Pants Demon.
Exactly. But yeah, I like din yung typography actually. No.
Ang ganda nga, no? Si ano ba to?
Si
Si New Capena.
Yeah. Streets of New Capena, di ba?
Pretty cool. Parang Great Gatsby type.
Exactly.
Galing.
Pero demons.
Sa Halloween edition ng news. So this is not news, Ronnie, but I guess on the side, I can say that in the fourth quarter of this year, Halloween theme yung set ng Magic. We're going to a world of vampires and werewolves. So abangan mo baka mag-cosplay kami as werewolves and vampires. Mura lang naman yung fake pangil sa Lazada. Bibili kami ng fake pangil. Yung maglalaway-laway ka na after wearing it for like 10 minutes.
Sobrang mura ka sa second hand.
So, galing pang China na
second hand, gamit na.
Wag naman. Okay, we've talked about Magic for a long time. We're gonna go to our very last segment, which is the Kickstarter stuff. Okay, let's go to this. We've changed this segment a bit, guys. We're gonna call it Kickstarter Pics, crowdfunding Pics. Kumbaga, this week, Ron will be telling us what his pick is, and then I will be telling everyone what my pick is. So you'll know which one of us is gastador. So,
ikaw mauna. Ano ka ba?
Ako ba mauna? O sige, go.
Yes,
show my pick. So my pick for this week for crowdfunding is...
Press the button first.
Ako ba? Ikaw?
Ikaw una.
O, sige na nga, add to stream. Ito ba yun? Number 1 game to get a Gen-Con 2019.
Designed by John D. Clare, one of the hottest designers working today. And AEG, one of the most trusted in tabletop gaming, comes Emissaries of the Veil, an Edge of Darkness expansion. Long ago, Aegis lost contact with the Mystic Veil, a natural wonderland ruled by stoic druids.
Connecting
Recently,
Mystic
contact
Veil.
has been re-established, but the Veil
Maximizing
is not
the
what it
IP.
used to be.
The John
The
D.
vibrant
Clare
lands and
universe.
ancient cultures
The John D. Clare
from a
verse.
dark force.
JCU.
Pure evil is attempting to sever the
Hey
people
Fred,
of the
what's up?
veil
I
from the
see you're a
land.
fan
The very
of
manner upon which
Mystic
their culture
Veil
relies.
and Edge of Darkness.
Interlopers have arrived, bent on the destruction of ley lines and other key sources of druidic power. In the outer reaches of the Veil, the residents have become twisted versions of their old selves. A warning to all what is in store should the invaders reach the heart of the
May
Veil.
dragon, di ba? May dragon, I'm
This
sold.
all sounds eerily familiar to you. It's the Blight,
Amy talaga.
just in another form. You'll need to learn druid magic by tapping into the mana around you and channeling that force into powerful spells. Emissaries of the Veil is the latest expansion to Edge of Darkness, AEG's card-crafting, worker placement game of power, politics, and combat. For existing fans, Emissaries of the Veil is a must-get expansion that opens up the game with all new locations, contacts, and threats. If you're new to Edge of Darkness, now is the time to get on board. We've put together an amazing deal just for you, containing not only Emissaries of the Veil, but the Kickstarter versions of each previous Edge of Darkness
Grabe,
release as
kompleto.
well.
The full set.
Don't miss out. Back Emissaries of the Veil now.
Gusto ko pag naglaro tayo ng Edge of Darkness next time. Edge of Darkness. Huwag na sa kanya. Edge of Darkness.
Emissaries of the Veil.
We're gonna play the Emissaries of the Veil in the John D. Clare universe. Sabi nga ni Rooney. So that's my pick for Kickstarter this week. I'm a huge fan of Edge of Darkness. I'm a huge fan of Edge of Darkness. I'm a huge fan of any deck builder. And I'm a huge fan of John D. Clare, the John D. Clare verse.
Exactly, right? Like everything that he releases are, well, at least for
Magic
me,
hands. Magic hands.
Yeah, magic hands.
Or parang si Cooking Master Boy. Ano yung hands ni Cooking Master Boy? Alam mo yun? Yung meron siyang warm hands. Meron siyang warm hands that lets him make very nice food. Parang ganun yung power ni Cooking Master Boy. So Clint is already alluding to another Kickstarter. Watch out, Clint. Watch out. But anyway, just to finish, I'm a huge fan of Edge of Darkness and any deck builder. And I know you are also. And
Yes, of course.
you know I'm gonna backlist kaya hindi mo siya pinik. Because ako na yung kalaro mo.
Guys, ganito lang yan. It's simple. If your friend is backing it, experience nyo na lang muna.
Oo nga eh. Lalo na pag mahal.
Especially if you play with that person.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. 62 hours to go for this Kickstarter, by the way, as of now. So, short campaign. If you're interested, go back it. Really sulit yung kanilang yung kanilang all-in. Because before, parang 150 USD for just the base game.
The base game.
But now it's 180 for the base game plus 3 expansions. Parang mayroong mali sa math, pero gagawin, I mean, we'll just take that.
Nalugi ka ba?
We'll take the wins where we can get them. But apparently, kaya naman pala ibenta ng 180 USD, guys. So yeah, I highly recommend that. So that's my crowdfunding pick for this week. What's yours, Mr. Ronan?
Q the...
Q, ako na ba magkiklik? Yung drums muna. Q, ano yung, eto na, tayo sa pick ni Ronan. Kailangan may drums. Sige na nga. Go! Push!
Okay, alright. So, si Clint called it, right?
Galing ni Clint.
Galing ni Clint. So, let's
Para kayo
all watch it.
All hold hands and watch this together. Ayun, naghang.
I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man
Hindi ko alam
walking.
kung music video ba
I'm a dead man walking.
Is this Imagine Dragons?
Actually,
I'm a shadow of the man I was before. I'm a dead man walking before I die. I'll take every soul I can into the night.
Minis. Soul.
movies. And I see a lot of cards.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
So this is your pick.
Yeah, this is my pick for this week. For the last 2 weeks, no. So Black Rose Wars Rebirth. It's an amalgamation of a lot.
Say that really fast 3 times.
Ayun, so a lot
Ayun.
of mechanics, no. So there's I'm pretty sure there's a deck building mechanic that caught my eye and
As per the Jake and Ron requirements.
requirement. All right, so definitely there's a deck building. I think there's also engine building, and as you can see, there's area control. Well, if this is the end product, as you can see on the table, this is amazing.
It's amazing.
I like there's a lot of minis. So definitely a lot of you are sold already.
Sold.
Diba? So, and there's a lot of cards. Gameplay wise, I'll let Clint talk about that more maybe
In the comments.
in the comment section. But yeah, I wasn't aware of the Kickstarter video was like this. So
From
plus
Imagine
point yun.
Dragons.
Oh, guys, a plus yun. No, I just read through the campaign and I didn't expect anything like this, no, as their Kickstarter video. But it's really nice, as you can see. Di natin alam if you were watching a music video or what, but
I have a very simple comment though. There are demons in this game, and they're not wearing pinstripe pants.
That's it.
That's
Sad.
sad. They're not well-mannered demons.
But it's not out yet. They could possibly.
They could still
wear,
buy pants.
uh,
They could still get tailored pants. Yeah, Black Rose Wars is like I think an IP. So this is just, I guess, another game in that IP, I think.
okay.
So there you go. Clint is saying it's basically an action programming, deck building, deathmatch game. It's like adrenaline. Oh, I love adrenaline. It's like the game that's copying shooters, right? Shooter themed game.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't played that.
We haven't played that. I have a copy,
Yeah.
but syempre, we're bawal lumabas.
Bawal lumabas until the second.
Bawal lumabas, sabi ni teacher. So, guys, ano muna tayo. So that's Black Rose Wars. I'm also looking forward to that, and tingnan natin kung mako-convince ka at bibili ka talaga ng kopya nitong Black Rose Wars.
Black Rose Wars.
So that's our crowdfunding picks for the week. And before we move on to other items, one thing that we like to encourage on this show is people to share their own news. We can't see all of the news, of course. Maybe you've heard something
caught your eye.
Something in the local space you want, especially in the local space. We encourage you to share it in the comments so we can share it on the show. In fact, one of the things at the very beginning, Clint already shared something. Clint, our budgeting game designer, he has a game design dice drop that he officially entered into the 2021 Solitaire Print and Play contest. It's up on Board Game Geek, I assume, Clint. So if you're interested in that, to see one of our very own Filipino designers, there you go. Thanks, Ron, for putting on screen. If you want to support and check out Clint's game, a Filipino design, please. Even though he's our very guapo tizoy designer, I'll check it out. So ako kapitbahay ko lang si Clint so baka makalaro ko si Clint.
Not until your second dose.
Not until your second dose. Bawal lumabas, teacher. Okay, that's it. I don't know if anybody in the chat has any other news. That's it. That was a good show, Ron. I enjoyed it. I hope people enjoyed it. Next week, hopefully, Daddy Denmark is back.
I hope you enjoyed our energy.
Our energy.
Energy ni Jake pagdating sa Magic.
Magic.
Mythic player yun.
Magic. Once lang. Swinerte lang, guys. Swinerte lang. But that's it. So thank you, everyone, and we will see you in 2 weeks again when we do the board game news. Apparently, that's the official name of the show. You say news 4 times. Board game news. So until then, this is Jake Fernandez po, nag-uulat.
And this is Ron Teruel, nag-uulat kasama ni Jake.
At naglilingkod. And thank you. How do we do the outro, Ron?
Just like this.
Perfect. Okay.
Right?